Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. I am joined here by Ahmed from Virtuozzo. We're going to be talking about mastering multi-cloud using some hardware from Vultr on the infrastructure side and pairing it with some amazing platform tools that Virtuozzo has to offer. Ahmed, I'll let you say a couple words about yourself.
So my name is Ahmed Amni. I'm based in Europe, in France. I'm Global Business Development VP for Virtuozzo, helping all the partners out there to embrace multi-cloud and make the cloud, make freedom in the cloud.
And I'm David. Most people know me as DJ because there's way too many Davids out there in the world. So I have to differentiate myself just a little bit. I am on the product marketing team here at Vultr. I work very closely with all of our Cloud Alliance partners, especially with Virtuozzo, as we'll talk about today. So before we dive into all the nitty gritty of everything, here's just a brief agenda, just in case you want to skip around on this video. We're going to be talking a little bit about what Cloud Alliance is, just for anybody who doesn't know. Then we're going to dive into an overview of Vultr and Virtuozzo separately. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about how we pair together and all the benefits you get, all the simplified operations you get with the partnership. And we'll wrap up with a walkthrough of what this actually looks like. It's very simple, just foreshadowing. And we'll talk a little bit about the pricing side coming on to the end. So Cloud Alliance. Vultr's Cloud Alliance started earlier this year, and we've been able to partner with some amazing companies to help bring together complete solutions to your business. Because we realize that we're an infrastructure company, and we have all the high performance infrastructure and the AI infrastructure that you may need to get up and running in today's world. But we don't provide you the tools that you would necessarily need to manage that a lot of the times, especially if you have multi-cloud. That's where Virtuozzo comes in, and you can kind of bring everything together in one seamless dashboard. But we also work with a lot of other partners to help really benefit the user experience. For instance, Yext, they work very well on the front end with a headless CMS to allow you to personalize your content for your website, as well as just manage your reputation across the world. Some of the other partners you see here, we work very closely with, like Domino Data Lab. They are one of our key partners this year for our AI and ML initiatives. We, very similar to Virtuozzo, make it super easy to actually deploy their whole enterprise AI platform on Vultr to get up and running extremely quickly for any AI and ML products. And lastly, I'll just mention on the multi-cloud front, we have Console Connect. They are a direct connect partner with us, and they can help streamline all of your direct secure network connections, no matter what cloud you're on, whether you have on-premise infrastructure, they can help connect it all together for you. And a little bit about Vultr now. We are the world's largest independent, privately held cloud platform. We're very proud to say that. And we became that because we've served over 1.5 million customers in 185 countries to date. And a lot of those customers are still actively deploying instances right now. We deploy about 3 million new instances per month. And those instances are all across the world. You can see this big map here. We have 32 global locations, and we're constantly growing to add more. So you'll see this map change over time. So if you're watching this a year from now, this map is probably highly out of date. But keep checking on it because we're always growing. We jump into areas that are underserved by hyperscalers, underserved by even other independent clouds. For instance, in India, we have 3 data centers there, in Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, where a lot of your hyperscalers are independents. They might only be in Bangalore. They might only be in Delhi. So we give you some options there. So keep checking on all of this as we continue to grow. We're always popping new locations up, and you'll see these new locations become available in your dashboard. Once you're up and running with Vultr and Virtuozzo, you'll be able to easily spin up new instances wherever you're at. And just to dive into a little bit of why Vultr, and here's a couple of key points. I've talked about a few of these already. We're 100% bootstrapped. We were a product-led growth company for the vast majority of our history, and that allowed us a very unique opportunity to then bring in some marketing and sales to finally expand to our next level of enterprise business customers. And we do that with the power of our partnerships. All of this is backed by on-demand full-stack cloud compute. So wherever you're at in the world, we have the high-performance cloud computing infrastructure you need, whether it's something specialized, like a high-frequency cloud compute, which is really good for WordPress websites or CMS systems, or you need something specialized, like our AI lineup with Cloud GPU, which is all powered by NVIDIA's top-of-the-line data center GPUs. And each of those have varying levels of performance depending on your needs. We have GPUs that can specialize in visual computing. We have GPUs that specialize in nothing but AI and machine learning. We have a couple that are in between. And all of this can be spun up within just a click of a button, and you have everything you need to get up and running super quickly. You can also do all this through our API. So if you're a managed service provider and you're managing hundreds of instances on Vultr, you can tap into our API and access all of our services and really automate everything to your business needs. And with that, we want to be predictable in our pricing. So all of our pricing is right on our website. It is very upfront. You know exactly what you're going to pay every month, and you're not going to get a surprise charge of $100,000 like we hear from a couple of AWS customers all the time. It's something we're very proud of. Our pricing has stayed the same recently. You've seen price hikes from DigitalOcean and others, and our pricing is between 20% cheaper if you're looking at other independents, all the way to like 90% cheaper if you're looking at some of the hyperscaler options. And that's not to say that, we would love to have you move your entire infrastructure to Vultr, but we recognize that multi-cloud is a big part of businesses today. And we would love to help with that. So all of our services are made to work within a multi-cloud strategy to help you lower those costs, whether you're serving simple applications that just need something basic, or maybe we're in regions that your cloud provider currently is not in. We would love to bring you in on your multi-cloud strategy to get you into those regions. And we do all this by offering very personalized onboarding, and very personalized support throughout the entire process. It's a white glove service. Anything that you need from us, you let us know and we will work with you. And lastly, we've already talked a lot about Cloud Alliance, but this is really our go-to market solution that brings together everything you need with one set of partners or multiple partners to get you what you need to get up and running for your business. And I've talked a little bit about some of our products. So this is going to be a high-level overview. We talked a lot about cloud compute. This is generally our virtualized options, whether they're shared instances, dedicated instances. Maybe you need something specialized like a memory optimized instance because your applications use a ton of RAM. We also offer cloud GPU instances. And our cloud GPUs are very unique in the marketplace because we offer cloud GPUs on our virtualized instances, but we also offer them on bare metal clusters, as well as with our managed Kubernetes service. So no matter what your needs are, you have infinite scaling possibilities with cloud GPU. Bare metal is something that you don't see very often from a lot of cloud providers right now. This is an option that'll give you fully dedicated access to the hardware of the server all the way down to the BIOS level. There's no virtualization layer, no overhead from that. You got everything that server has to offer and you can control every bit of it. We also offer a few other services to help you further your business, such as cloud storage. If you're a media company or you're serving tons of static objects, you may need to look into object storage, or you need to expand your block storage for your giant language models, for instance. Networking, we spoke a little bit about with Console Connect. We offer tons of different networking features that can support multi-cloud. We offer VPC 2.0, which just recently launched, that will allow you to scale your instances dramatically. And all of this comes at very low bandwidth costs. So part of our networking package, we include a certain set of bandwidth in every single Vultr plan out there. And when you happen to run over that bandwidth, we will then have to charge a single reduced rate of 1 cent per gigabyte for overage, but that is 1 cent per gigabyte anywhere in the world. No matter where you're at, you pay the same price. It's unheard of from hyperscalers' perspective because, one, hyperscalers don't bundle in your bandwidth, but two, if you're in Tokyo, AWS tends to charge about 9 cents per gigabyte. If you're in Tokyo with Vultr, it's just 1 cent per gigabyte once you're finished with the bundled bandwidth. And lastly, we have 2 managed services that really make your life easy to get up and running in a cloud-native world, and that's our managed Kubernetes and our managed databases. These are services that are completely managed by Vultr. You can spin up clusters on Kubernetes or databases very easily. Those clusters are immutable. They're redundant. If one fails, a new node pops up without you ever knowing about it. It takes all the headache out of the configuration and the management of those services, so you can just focus on building the best applications out there. So that was a ton of info about Vultr. I could go on for days about the different offerings we have, but I'd really like to throw it over to Ahmed to talk a little bit about Virtuozzo.
Yeah, thanks, DJ. That was awesome. That's great. So a bit of Virtuozzo. We are a software vendor existing since 23 years. We are coming from the world of containers, and we are one of the creators of the containers technology. We come as well from the service provider area, so we were helping, and we are still helping service providers to launch their public clouds and private clouds, and we are now shifting as well to massively invest in the private cloud because we have solutions that any enterprise or any managed service provider who is using, or system integrator who is providing private clouds to the companies, they can provide a full stack cloud solution in order to make the cloud consumption easy. The solution that we will be speaking about today is Virtuozzo application platform, and it's a multi-cloud application orchestrator with platform as a service and DevOps capabilities. So as you see in the image, you can deploy, create, migrate any application from any cloud to any cloud. These applications can be Java, PHP, Node.js, Kubernetes, and as well we have databases that are available, ready to consume templates in the platform. So basically, what you can do is shifting your legacy applications to the cloud, and here you have Vultr with 32 data centers that are available worldwide, and any other cloud vendor of your choice. So you take the legacy with zero code change. So you don't change any code, and we know how difficult it is to migrate those legacy applications to the cloud. You can as well choose your cloud providers based on the cost of the provider. And what we do, we are not doing it from the infrastructure layer. What we do is we do it from the application layer. So there are plenty of vendors that are helping you orchestrate from an infrastructure perspective your multi-cloud enablement. But what we do is we are enabling it from the application layer. So there is still the work of the infrastructure to be done. You will still need to go to the Vultr console, create your VMs. But once your VMs are created and attached to the Virtuozzo application platform, you can deploy any application on top of any VM, anywhere. So why us? Today, the market, especially in the mature markets, in the mature cloud markets, are facing an issue of adopting a multi-cloud. There are many cloud providers, and each cloud provider is having strength in front of each other. What we would like to do here is to make it as simplified as possible. For example, one of the issues that the market is having is the skills. For example, if I want to develop an application that runs on Google, and then another one that runs on AWS, and then another one that runs on Vultr, and another one that is running on DigitalOcean, I need to master 4 platform as a service technology. And I need to have the skill set for that 4 platform as a service technologies, and then for my cost of operation, having someone certified for each cloud platform makes it high. With our platform, you have one dashboard where you manage all your applications on top of all the cloud. So one skill to master, Virtuozzo application platform, and then you can start deploying any application on top of any cloud. The second issue is cloud vendor lock-in. So you find yourself with a hyperscaler, or you find yourself with an alternative cloud provider, and you are locked in on that cloud because the effort on embracing another cloud technology or migrating your applications or moving your application from point A to point B is a bit difficult. And you want to use a service from this cloud provider. We have migration capabilities built in, and you can migrate once you have the what we call an availability zone. So the VM created on top of that cloud and connected to the Virtuozzo application platform, you can with one click migrate those applications offline or online. There is a live migration. There are some, of course, criteria that should be met in order to make live migration, but live migration is available on top of our solution. And the third issue that we have is how to protect, or that we fix. So let's imagine tomorrow you have today you have a subset of applications. So this subset of applications, you have an application per VM. And when you have one application per VM, you need to protect, secure, backup every single VM. And it's a headache from an operational perspective. With our solution, as every single environment is running on a container, you can have one VM with multiple applications that are, of course, isolated. And then from there, you have one entry point to protect, one VM to backup, and it becomes easier for you from an operational perspective. And you make sure that your costs from a cloud vendor's perspective, for example, you can do your development and test. If any of your applications need the native services integrated to the hyperscalers, you don't need to have your development and test in the hyperscalers. It will cost you 5 times what it would cost you if you run it on Vultr, for example. So these are the kind of architectures that you can create with having the freedom on the multi-cloud from the application perspective and having it with platform as a service capabilities. And the last thing that I would be saying about our solution is, so we have pre-deployed templates where you can deploy easily in 5 minutes a container with a Java, with a Tomcat, and with an SQL database. But the power of our solution as well is that you can build your own template. So for any MSP there or any enterprise who is using Oracle databases or using Microsoft SQL databases or using a SAP HANA Express database, they can create a template that allows them afterwards to deploy that container with that database in 5 minutes. And what you just need to bring your license from that ISV and then start doing your job. So it brings you all the DevOps capabilities. There is a unified network between all your cloud vendors. So it makes it like you can build the architecture you want within your applications using the cloud provider of your choice and go global. For example, if you are an ISV, 32 data centers with Vultr, you can easily go global by using all these points of presence.
And that's fantastic. It gets me really excited to see partners like Virtuozzo come together to really help just make the cloud available to everyone, no matter where you're at, make it easy to use, because we hear all the time that DevOps cycles, they take forever, and when you need to migrate cloud, it's a headache. And this is a very easy way to be able to achieve basically anything you can imagine. As Ahmed talked about, we're avoiding hyperscaler lock-in. We're placing services where they function best. Your development platform may be Vultr, your deployment platform may be Azure. It doesn't matter. You can move everything around seamlessly. So all this comes together to make a composable ecosystem that works with you. and it doesn't get in the way of your process of building your applications. And all of this, it comes at a great price to performance. You can really pick the services that perform the best while reducing your costs, no matter what cloud they're on. And it really just makes global reach fully achievable. If there's data centers you're not in and you need to be there to reduce latency, if you're a media application, for instance, you can use Virtuozzo to help bring Vultr into the mix to get you into those data centers that are super close to your users. So all of this just comes down to basically three key things, and that's with Virtuozzo and Vultr, you're enhancing your reliability of your entire tech stack across your cloud environments. You know exactly what's going on, no matter where those services are hosted. You have one dashboard you can go to and you can look at everything. And that just reduces downtime in general. You don't have to jump around managing a bunch of different SSH keys and a bunch of different logins, and you don't know what server is on what infrastructure. It's all here. You can quickly take a look and jump in and fix issues when they arise. And again, it's all unified. Everything's handled in one solution that we'll see here in just a moment. And you'll see exactly how simple it is to actually get up and running with this. So now we're going to kick it over to Ahmed, who's going to run through what this actually looks like in terms of deploying from Vultr Marketplace all the way up to getting it up and running.
Thank you, DJ. I will be showing to our partners the way on how we can go and deploy simply an orchestrator from the Vultr Marketplace and the best functionalities of our multi-cloud platform as a service that gives the possibility to have a multi-cloud application orchestration, creating, deleting, migrating applications between the clouds. So everything starts from the Vultr Marketplace. So if you go to the Vultr Marketplace, you will find Virtuozzo Multi-Cloud Platform as a Service, and all you need is to click on the deploy button. So we, with the Vultr team, made the user experience and user flow easy. You go with your Vultr credentials, and then you can deploy the orchestrator from there. So I would be choosing the data center that I would like to have. And here, as you can see, we have all Vultr's data centers. So you have access directly to 33 regions. You can choose any one of them. For here, for example, I'm choosing New York. Make sure that the Virtuozzo multi-cloud platform is checked. Normally it comes by default checked, but make sure that it is checked. Take the server size you would like to have. It starts with 32 gigabytes. You can have any size you would like to have. And you enable or disable auto backups. These backups, the VM that you would like to have the orchestrator on top of, enabling physics, IP address, assigning your IP address, and what you need to do only is to click on deploy now. Once you click on deploy now, as you can see, you have an orchestrator that is now being installed, or the image is being deployed of the orchestrator is being deployed on top of this VM in New York. We will wait for a bit to get it installed, and then we will resume the installation. It takes usually 5 minutes. So now that I have my VM that is spinned with the image of Virtuozzo application platform, I need to enter in to resume the installation. So I go in, I take the IP address, so this IP address, I open it via SSH. It doesn't work if you do it from the console available in the Vultr system, so you need to have an SSH tool. In my case, I'm using Putty as a tool, and we can take it from there. Let me just open it here, and we can see it. So I have my SSH tool now open. I will Let me show you. Share the screen. And I have this. So I have now, I put my public IP address. I click on open. And then as you can see here, it asks me to log in as a root. So I would log in, and then I have the password available on Vultr. So I would be doing it this way. And then I would be having, would you like to continue with Virtuozzo application platform installation? I would say yes. And then it will start putting all the packages and installing all the packages. So now we will start the installation of the multi-cloud orchestrators with all the templates and all the tools that we have. As you can see here, once it finalized applying all the packages, it gives me a link that I need to open on a browser. So I will be taking the link, and I will be going to the browser here to finalize my installation. I will come here, and as you can see, my installation now, my installer will finish the installation. So I just need to give a system username. I need to give an email address, and then I need to choose a domain. So I will here call it Vultr, for example. And then I click on install, and it starts installing for me the multi-cloud orchestrator with all the packages. After 2 hours, I have my orchestrator that is already installed. I have my username, I have my password. The dev panel is the user panel. It's the panel that will give me possibility to create all my applications on the clouds of my choice. And the operation panel or administration panel gives me the possibility to administrate the orchestrator and add new regions and everything. So let's now go to the developer plan. I will have welcome to the application platform. I read and agree. You can read the user license agreement privacy policy, of course, before clicking on it. Then I have my credentials. Just copy and paste them. And now I have my user or my user dashboard or my DevOps panel loading. Same for the operations panel. Same thing. I will need to add my credentials here, and then I will be having a full view on the administration part. Now, as you can see, so I have zero code change deploy of applications and all that cool stuff that we have. So when you first install the platform, it comes with one region, which is Vultr. To add a new availability zone or a new cloud provider, you should come to the operations panel and then go to hosts, and you need to add a new host. You can do it with SSH, you can do it with UI. The documentation is available on how to do it. It's explained step by step. So here I can add AWS and then put the IP address, the root and password. I need to install the containerization and then start doing my business. I would take some time to do it, and I would take you back in 5 minutes. I have now my orchestrator with all my availability zones. So I have an availability zone in AWS. I have another one in Asia, the default one on Vultr. I created another availability zone in Vultr to support to separate my orchestrator from the user or from the application. That from the application node, you can still do it in the same node. I advise you to do it in two nodes. And then I created GCP. From here, you can see all the regions. You can see all the templates that we have, and I will come to it in a few. And here is the DevOps plan, or the user panel, or the development panel. So let's imagine I want to create a Java application and run it on top of my availability zone in Vultr. So what I need, I will check if I want to have a load balancer or not. It's a Java application. What application server I would like to use. And here you would see, for example, that I have Tomcat version 7, right? So this helps me when I want to bring my legacy applications to the cloud without changing any code. So I will show you in the templates side from the operational part or from the admin panel, the templates and all the templates that are available that you can make available. I chose an SQL database, and here from an SQL database, I can enable auto clustering. I can enable vertical and horizontal scaling as well. So I can enable it auto scaling from here. Scheme, I want it primary, or Galera, or primary, secondary. And then I choose the cloud provider of my choice. Here I'm choosing to do it on Vultr, and then I would be creating my my environment. So in 5 minutes or less, I will be having an environment ready to consume, and I will be using my application on top of Vultr and starting coding my application on top of Vultr. If I am moving a legacy application to the cloud, I can choose the application server that I need for the language that I have, and then choose that one. We support all of them. We have all of them in order to ease the migration of legacy applications to the cloud. Now, second thing. So as you see here, I have a Kubernetes cluster that I deployed on AWS, and I have another environment that I deployed in AWS. And let's imagine that this environment doesn't need AWS anymore, or I'm not happy with AWS anymore, and I want to change it to bring it to Vultr. All I need to do is to come here and go to migration. I have possibility to choose the cloud provider of my choice. So here I would be choosing Vultr. I can do online and offline, meaning I can do a live migration. There are some criteria that should be met, and you can find them in our documentation or contact us at vultr@virtuozzo.com. So either I do live migration, online or offline. I click on verify and migrate. I click on yes, and then my container, my application is now being migrated from AWS to Vultr. So it shows that today you are embracing cloud freedom. You can use the cloud provider of your choice based on the needs that you have, rather than being locked in within one cloud provider. You have the orchestrator. There is, of course, an effort to migrate your existing applications to Virtuozzo application platform. It's easy, as I showed you. Like, you can do it with zero code change. We support all type of languages. We support all the type of application servers. So either it's a legacy application or a cloud native application, you can migrate it to the Virtuozzo application platform, and then enjoy a multi-cloud platform as a service that allows you to deploy your applications, your databases anywhere, and then reduce your cloud costs, of course. Or as well, use the 33 data centers that Vultr is having from a latency perspective. The second thing that I want to show you is the concept of marketplace. And in the marketplace, you will find the non-Virtuozzo stuff. So for example, if I want to have a Kubernetes cluster, I can install a Kubernetes cluster using the templates of Kubernetes. I can choose the version of Kubernetes if I want to have some Kubernetes, old Kubernetes. I can use the dashboard that I would like to have, put some monitoring or whatever add-on I would like to do, and if it's storage or not, and then choose my cloud provider. Here I would be choosing Vultr, and then I can rename the environment the way I want and start installing my Kubernetes cluster and start deploying my Kubernetes cluster. The migration capabilities are as well available for Kubernetes. So my Kubernetes here is in AWS. I want to not use AWS anymore, but go to Vultr. I can do online or offline, and I can click on verify and migrate, and then it starts migrating everything. So I can migrate my applications from a cloud to a cloud. I can spin an application on any type of cloud. I can do my dev and test in Vultr, and then publish my application on Amazon, because I need to use some native services on Amazon or Azure or GCP. And then I can have a full multi-cloud architecture for my applications to use them the way I want. We have as well a multi-regional databases. So I can spin, for example, one database that is available on 3 cloud providers, right? And this database would be replicating data in all the or in every single region, right? This helps when we need a latency. So for example, if you are an ISV or if you are an MSP doing business globally and you have customers that are in Europe, others in US, others in APAC, then you can have a spread database between the 3 regions that is replicating all the data between. All I need is to choose my cloud services and cloud providers, and then click on install, and it starts deploying for me all the applications that I need. As you can see, I have one single view of all my applications. I can see all the, I'm having here all the DevOps tools that I need in order to create collaboration on projects and do all the DevOps stuff. Now, if I come to the administration panel, as you can see here, I have all my hosts, and I can add hosts, and I can see the usage of my hosts. When I see that a host is used, I need still to go to the panel of Amazon or Azure or GCP or Vultr or DigitalOcean or my on-premise cloud, and resize the VM, make it bigger in order for me to add more resources. So we have this. I can see all the environments that are running on all my clouds. I can see what is migrating, what is launching, what has been created. I can manage my networking in my IP pool. I can manage all the nodes that I have running. The users, I have users management. I can add users, give authorizations to users to create environments on which cloud. It's customizable and easy. I have all the reports, the access control as well, localization. So if I want to use it in another language, you can bring any language, and you can do all the localization if you are in a region or in a territory that doesn't speak English. I'm seeing here the marketplace. So in the marketplace, you can see all the templates. And the cool thing as well with our solution is that you can build your own templates. So there is a way for you to templatize any of your applications. If you want to create applications and templatize them to simplify the deployment of them for your customers or for your internal customers, if you are working for an enterprise, you can create any kind of template, expose it into the marketplace, and your developers would be enjoying the fact of deploying that software in 5 to 10 minutes, having the migration capabilities from a cloud to another cloud, and make it easy. So this is a quick overview of the platform. Now you have 15 days trial, and as I was telling you, we are trying to make the customer experience as easy as possible. So once the 15 days trial is ending and you would like to go and move forward with the platform, you only need to go to store.virtuozzo.com. And here you can either get support if you are in a trial, but in the trial period, you can get the support from a trial perspective. You can order a license, and the licensing is based by the capacity of RAM you need, including the orchestrator capacity, of course. So we start at 64 gigabyte. It goes to 2 terabytes. You can choose the capacity you want. You can upgrade it, downgrade it anytime, and all the flow is built on a digital way. So you bring your serial key, and your serial key, you can find it here about, and then you find you come here, you come to about, and then you have your serial key that is here waiting for you. Then you put your serial key, and you click on checkout. If you have a promo code from Virtuozzo, just apply it. I have read in the terms of services that, of course, you can check. You are either existing customers or you create a new account. So I have an account already. I will do it this way. And then you have all the, you have PayPal, credit card and wire transfer that you can configure, and then start enjoying the multi-cloud capabilities of the platform. So as you can see, Cloud Freedom give you a possibility to choose the cloud provider of your choice by having the orchestrator based on Vultr Cloud, and then you can deploy your applications on top of any cloud, migrate them from any cloud to any cloud, and then having all these database as a service capabilities, the application as a service capabilities, the marketplace capabilities, and of course the possibility to create and to templatize in software and make it easy for your developers to consume them and install them on top of any cloud. And here I turn it back to you, DJ, to conclude the webinar.
Now you're probably wondering, like, you saw the benefits, you saw the features, you saw how it was put together, and you saw how easy it is to deploy. But the big question we always get is, what does this cost? Because we understand that this is going to be another tick in your cloud budget. It actually doesn't cost as much as you think. We're a fraction of the price of many of the competitors out there. So with what you're seeing right here on screen, we're just looking at the compute pricing, and you're looking at the differences here. So all of these are dedicated instances that are virtualized amongst Vultr, DigitalOcean, and AWS. And you can see, compared to DigitalOcean, we're about 20% cheaper, and we offer similar specs. And with AWS, we're basically half the cost, and that is just for the compute price. That does not include storage or bandwidth with AWS. Once you start adding in 200 gigabytes of storage and 7 terabytes of bandwidth, that bill goes about 3 times as high. So that's where you see a lot of the savings here. And then on the Virtuozzo side, their application in Vultr Marketplace, it's free to spin up, and you get a 15-day free trial for the multi-cloud aspect of it. And then from there, it's just based on your resource consumption of your RAM. So that way it is still very predictable. You know how much RAM you're using, and that's what you're going to be billed for on Virtuozzo's side. And with that, I just want to thank everyone for taking their time today to watch this and learn a little bit about this fantastic partnership we have going on. I really enjoyed working with you, Ahmed, to get all of this put together. And just want to say, if anybody has any questions, reach out to Vultr through Vultr.com, reach out to Virtuozzo through their website, and let us know if you have any questions. But other than that, Ahmed, thank you for your time.
Thank you.